So apparently there is a mole, or has been a mole, embedded in Fox News for, well, I guess he's been working there for nearly 8 years, I guess. Guy's name is Joe Muto. He was caught sometime in the past couple of days. He outed himself on Gawker yesterday after being caught and fired. Fox is now, Gawker paid this guy $5,000. Fox is now threatening to sue Gawker if they use any of the video or any of the information that he obtained while being a mole at Fox. The letter sent to Gawker from attorneys at Epstein, Becker, Green, representing Fox. Gawker should immediately take all necessary steps to preserve all documents and information that may be relevant to its hire and employment of Joe Muto, including, but not limited to, personnel documents, its discussions, whether written or oral, with Joe Muto. Any information provided to Gawker or written by Joe Muto for possible future publication. Any Fox News documents provided to Joe Muto for Gawker. Any Fox News documents misappropriated by Joe Muto and Gawker. It'll be interesting to see what Gawker ends up putting out there. We know that when Fox or its parent company did this sort of thing in Britain, it claimed to be doing so for, I think it was the benefit of society or for the benefit of the public. So certainly I think this is going to be beneficial to the public. I know it's going to be enjoyable for the public, namely me. I'm looking forward to it.
One of the videos that they released was Mitt Romney and Sean Hannity talking, I guess in between the live interview shots or what was going to be put on the show, and Mitt Romney is talking about how he's taking extra care of what he's saying at these interviews, even when the cameras aren't supposed to be live, but they're on, just in case something gets out. And then he goes on to talk about how much him and his wife Anne love riding on their fancy dressage horses, and they have all these horses, and she's got this specific breed of horse, and he's got 2 of these and 3 of those, and it's so invigorating to go riding on these horses. And he talks about how the one he has, the way it I guess walks or whatever it is that trots.
It's a gait.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just it's perfect, and it doesn't feel like another horse, and it's just. My God, this is the guy who complains that Obama goes golfing. I mean.
And wait a second. Now, Romney's telling this to Hannity.
Yeah.
And what is Hannity saying?
Oh, Hannity's going with it. Love talking about, oh, yeah, it must be great. It must be invigorating. It must be.
What an ass kisser. Unbelievable. You hear this type of stuff, in between breaks. I remember talking about when I was on Radigan. And Pataki was on, talking about his farm on a lake and how, it's invigorating and this and that. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, look, I don't mind, that's great. He's got a farm on a lake. But then he came back after break and talking about how Obama is making this big deal that if people lose their Medicare, they're going to die in the streets. And that juxtaposition was just, I went ballistic on him. I mean, I think we talked about that, right? Where he looked at me across the table and he said, this is after we got off air. And he goes, do you believe anything you're saying? And I said, yes. And he goes, that's funny because you don't look that stupid. Which was, everybody at the table was just sort of shocked. They'd never seen anything like that. I loved that. That was one of my favorite times on that show.
There was another release, I guess, from that same interview where they were doing like 2 takes or something, and like one for one day and one for another day, and they wanted to make it look like it was 2 separate interviews. So they asked Mitt Romney to change the shirt and to change the tie, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that. I don't want anything getting out there." And then he's talking about with Hannity about how, he understands why Obama uses a teleprompter and how he's going to start using a teleprompter for things because, it's really good to get the message out that way. You don't want to make any mistakes.
Right.
You got to use that
Well,
teleprompter.
that's true. It's just that there's been an entire cottage industry on the right making an issue of the teleprompter.